This is the all-new BMW S1000R. And we are at the glorious but soggy Cadwell Park for a road and track test to find out if it's any ruddy good.
Welcome to the BMW S1000R. I have the M Sport. Oh, the silver one more. That's recording. That's recording. It turns on. Nice. Okay, so just a couple of quick instant impressions. I do really like these flat bars. Just walking up to the bike, it looks mean as f***, and I think all of these naked bikes, hyper nakeds, whatever you want to class this as, should have those flat bars. It looks sexy as f***. So well done, first impression. Second impression, I've got hill start control, seem to be on. It happened to me putting it in a lorry the other day on a S1000 anyway. Road, we don't want road. Dynamic. Obviously got the TFT dash. I think this has still got a plastic cover on, has it? Why is it so shiny? The other one, the GS one's matte. Is there a cover on there? There is a cover on there for the GoPros. Yeah, that screen is top of the class. Top of the class. There's yet to be any other motorcycle manufacturer that's beaten it, and I'm assuming it's because it's the same TFT tech that they use in their massive organisation of BMW cars. So yeah, two goodies. Right, so we're on road shift, so yes, that's first. Oh, I did crash here yesterday on a Super Twin, just over there actually, so I'm a little bit battered and bruised. So let's just start while I'm warming everything up and we're figuring out where we're going. The previous S1000R was a incredibly popular naked superbike. I will call it a naked superbike, because it basically was premium feel, huge power, massive power, and it was an ideal do-it-all bike. However, I think for a lot of people it lacked the excitement and the noise of like the MT10s, the KTM Super Duke Rs, all that sort of stuff. The aim of today, hopefully, is to assess this bike in terms of, is it still rapid? I can already tell you it's going to be rapid. And is it still a versatile street bike? Because most people that buy this are going to be coming off super bikes and they just want a bit more of a relaxed ride, do some track days on it and enjoy themselves, or they're coming up through the ranks of the Japanese twins like MT-09s, etc., and they want to elevate to a more premium perception brand. I think the engine's still cold, which is why it's flashing. Anyway, so that's a bit of history, a little bit of history, and I'm going to wait for the bike to warm up. Let's get into it, and I'll come back to you shortly. Thanks. So also just to add, the sorry about this launch again, COVID, blah blah blah. We're stuck in the UK. We can't do anything fun in the UK, and we're being observed by the governmental forces. The empire is watching us every step, so it's kind of not a real world review, let's put it that way. Anyway, I've entered dynamic pro mode now, and this feels a lot more free revving. When I first got it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, you know, I've heard all the preamble in the press conference a moment ago, which there are some interesting nuggets. I'll get onto that in a minute. It didn't feel that quick in road. Dynamic Pro seems to let it breathe a bit more. I do know that the first gears are powered down, and that's in all modes, and then also in road and rain it is a less powerful mode than a Dynamic and a Dynamic Pro. I also think Dynamic Pro allows a nice bit of wheelie so far from my experience, without it being too intrusive. It feels very firm, the bike, it feels firm. It definitely feels more sporty. The ergonomics, it's pointy, it's nosy. It's pointy, it's nosy. I am riding the M Sport version. This is, oh, Bruce's GoPro fell off. He owes me a pint for that. Just saved Chopsy's life. He's got he's pinged his rad. Nothing's ever easy, is it, in life? Try and organise an event and something happens. It's about how you deal with these things, these events in life, that make you successful or not. Right, so one down. Can't really criticise the bike for that. I don't know why though. It's such a common problem of stone pinging a rad. Why the fucking hell can't manufacturers engineer rad guards into their fucking bikes? I just don't get it. You could obviously buy them aftermarket. Why the fuck don't they put them on as standard? Don't understand. Don't understand, mommy. So I'm probably going to relinquish this bike to Chopsy. I think I'm sort of I'm happy with what this bike is on the road now. I understand it. It's actually got really quite a nice front end. It's a lot nicer than the old bike. It's a super smooth Sunday fun day touring sport machine. I can't wait for BMW to realise they made a heinous mistake with these rear tail lights. Rear tail lights? Rear lights. You might see it when somebody's braking and indicating. You cannot see the indicator light. You cannot see it. Like, what is wrong with just a brake light in the middle? When they first came out with that design, I thought, oh, that's quite a nice idea, but it's not, it's shit. Second thing I've noticed, which is annoying, is a semi-emergency brake activates the hazard lights, and it does that on all of the BMW Motorrad products now, and it just makes you look like a massive tool. Like you brake hard somewhere, and a lot of manufacturers do this. They put the fucking hazard lights on. It seems like everyone, maybe it's a legal requirement, but it seems like all the manufacturers have to concentrate too hard on all of this peripheral shit and forget about the experience. However, I will say the experience on this is dreamy to ride. It's super comfortable. I was skeptical about this brake setup because it's from an R9T. On the road, I confess I'm having no issues whatsoever with it. We're going on track in a bit at Cadwell Park, so that's going to test it a little more, but for road riders you're fine. Screen, best of the bunch, heated grips, all of that stuff. It's all obviously with the technical comfort packs, I think. These are all extras which you'll find with BMW. I'm not sure it comes with the cheaper 12 grand bike. I don't want to get a rad puncture, so I'll just hang back a bit. The seating position's actually really nice. It's positive. It's not hyper relaxed. It is quite bumpy on these harsh roads, a bit like the new Double R is with the MC. It is a bit botty-ish, a bit slappy, but again I think a comfort seat will sort that out. And the seat height is increased from the single R last gen. However, it's a narrower gusset, so where your legs sort of splay out, for shorter riders it's going to be exactly the same, basically, is what we're saying. It's slightly taller, which is better, but it's thinner, so you're not going to have much as a bad issue when you try and put your feet down, all that sort of stuff. For the taller rider, I still feel pretty good here. But this would be a brilliant bike to ride through your favourite twisties all day, and it is all day comfort. It's really buttery smooth. I think it's going to be brilliant around Cadwell Park later. The changes they've made to the chassis on this, it just feels so much more direct and nosy than the other one. It doesn't feel like an electronically suspended bike. Quick shifter, buttery smooth as always. Fantastic work there, probably best in class. This bike comes with either the Pirelli Diablo Rosso 3s, I think, or the S22 from Bridgestone. The standard bike comes with a 190 rear. The M and the Sport, where if you've selected the forged wheels or the carbon wheels, comes with a 200 rear section. What else? They're very proud of this stupid flap on the tail. I just think it's just stupid and a waste of time. But yeah, actually a really a fantastic do-it-all bike. If you've got a one-bike garage and you need to do a bit of commuting in the summer, do a bit of touring, do some track work, this is definitely a contender. Well done. I will say, and this is a general BMW comment, the materials could be nicer. And that's the same for all of their bikes at the moment. S1000 RRs, GSs. I just think they're missing a trick there. It seems, and this, in fact, this master cylinder, although I haven't been affected by it today, it's a very good example of where they seem to be, I don't want to say cutting corners, but they're certainly price focused. But then for a bike of this caliber, the entry level version is only 12 grand. That is cheap in today's market, very cheap. So, you know, I guess you get what you pay for. It is rogeringly fast. It's very nice. They focused a lot with weight reduction rather than top end numbers and power figures, which I guess is quite nice. But it is a nice dynamic bike to ride, and I think it's going to show it up even more so when we're on track later. I like the what feels like to me chassis flex in the standard double R. Like, wait till he brakes, and then we'll see that you cannot see that indicator. Look at that, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I quite like the loose feel of the chassis of this bike, and it works even better in this more street friendly version. So we've done a bit of the dynamics. I haven't really looked around the bike yet. I quite like the front end. I think it looks nice. It's got cornering headlights. These aren't going to give you a massive amount of information, but they're just going to flash up sort of road signs and stuff that you might not normally see on the other side of the road when you turn. So that's good. It's definitely an improvement over the last face. That was disgusting. It's always been disgusting. Plastics, you know, it's a bit flexible. These wheels are nice. These are the forged wheels. I don't know why it doesn't come with the carbon wheels. It's just on the M. This is the most expensive one. This is 17,000 and something up there. The Marzocchi forks, nice, supple front end. Feels really nice. Brakes, I like those calipers. I've never had an issue with them. I know some people have. Master cylinder, I'm still not quite sold on. Exhaust system, we've got the Acra on this bike. Would I spend the extra money on it? No. Because Euro 5, you now have to weld all of this stuff together as a manufacturer, so it stops customers being able to put a slip-on on. So I just don't see the point of it all. If you're going to take the whole thing off and get a full system, fine. That means this is junked anyway, and this is probably about £1,000. It could have been a bit more of a nice belly pan here, but is what it is. Nice swing arm, looks great. Again, rear wheel looks fantastic. Really like the look of these wheels. This is new on this bike. I don't know why they never did this with the double R, but actually there's air can travel through that. This is a silly little lift thing, and it's just annoying, like get the key in and all that sort of stuff. What was that? I quite like the seat cowl, nice little pack there. I assumed this was going to go on a double R and you could get the transponder GPS unit in there. Tail, again, lack of tail light here. I don't like this setup anymore. it's not good. Purely just because when you brake and indicate, cars can't see your indicator, and that is the one thing you don't want to happen on a bike, is to be rear-ended, and that just makes it more likely. There's lots of things you don't want to happen on a bike, but that's one of them. And yeah, and the flat bars that you can see from here, they look fantastic. Really nice stance. And it is aggressive. I just think the colour's shit. Sorry, the colour's not great. Especially for I'd like to see this in a deep, dark, like midnight blue or black, or just looking mean. I think it looks not mean in white with stickers. Cool. Let's go and take some pictures.
Right, so let's run through a few key points of the new bike. It's 194 kilograms wet for the M package bike, which is actually pretty light considering the rest of the competition. The engine is based on the RR, however this one does not have shift cam. It's got a new 6-axis IMU, new TFT dash, it's got optional adaptive turning headlight. The base model is just £12,055, which is very good value. The sport model is £14,000, and I went on the website and spec'd the M package bike with the carbon wheels, which is a shame it doesn't come with carbon wheels, and it's £18,900, and that's not including the billet pack or the carbon pack, so that is quite expensive, and we'll put it well over 20 grand with those options. And it's available to test ride immediately as of now. So after the road session, we headed to the track at Cadwell Park, where unfortunately it rained. However, some areas of the track were dry enough to give it a good rogering. Again, helmet cameras are banned in this country on track, so I'm going to have to give you a quick verbal rundown ahead of a more detailed track test later in the year. So, what was it like? I've got to say, it was actually really impressive. The front end on track is streets ahead of what the old bike was. It's got so much more feedback, and it just gives you so much more confidence to really push the bike. It's really fast turning. Again, I think the forged wheels help that. It's got good leverage from the wide bars, which means it requires a lot less effort to turn the bike. And the braking support was actually pretty good, and the wide bars helped that as well. Acceleration was good. It wasn't mind-blowing, but this is the non-shift cam engine, so it does lack a little bit in the top end, but that's to be expected for a street bike. The shifter was effortless and easy up and down. The electronics package kept me nice and safe in all the damp bits. I do have a minor criticism with that, which is that on the RR you get a nice traction control level indicator in the dash right at the top there. It's got easy access buttons on the handlebars, so you can toggle up and down as the track dries or gets worse, or you want more support, less support. This bike does not have that. I think the button is actually a suspension button on this one, so not only does it not have the live toggle, it also doesn't display what level of traction control you're in. So it's sometimes you feel like you're riding a bit blind, particularly if you're jumping on and off bikes with other journalists who may have turned it up, down, off, whatever. So yeah, minor criticism there. The standout feature for me was the way the bike turned in. It's such a dramatic change from the old model, which was a bit vague and wafty. This new bike has bags of feedback, which means you can ride it faster and easier for longer. It's possibly still not as passionate and engaging as some of the competition, however you really could ride this bike all day around here at a fast pace on a track day and have no problems with fatigue, and just pull wheelies, enjoy yourself, back it into corners if you're more skilled than me, and then ride home at the end of it. So it really is a really good do-it-all package. So in summary, for the road and the track, it's a yes from me. It's a hugely versatile machine with bags of power and, more importantly, the chassis to support it. Just please give us some better colour schemes. And some rad guards as standard would be nice as well. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Much thankings.